Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Scott, this here's Tito, and you're watching Tito the African Grey. Tito's doing good. He was just talkative a little bit ago. I thought maybe since he was so talkative that it would be a good time to make a video. So, say hi. So he's doing really well, y'all. He's been learning a lot. I mean, it's amazing how fast he learns. Let's give him a treat. That's always his favorite. So a couple updates on the channel. We are coming up on 500 subscribers, which I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing. If you're new here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification button so you're notified when videos drop, as well as feel free to make comments, y'all, on my videos. So we've had Tito for about 5 months now, so I've been doing these videos for about 5 months. So I think we're doing pretty good with subscriber count and growing our channel. And again, I appreciate all of you for subscribing. Without y'all, the channel wouldn't grow, so I do appreciate it. Tito going to hide today? You going to hide today? So we do have merchandise. If you're not aware, we have merchandise on the channel. I'm wearing one of our shirts featuring Tito with the African continent behind him and the YouTube logo on the bottom. There's multiple items in the merch shop. Maybe you'll find something that you like. At the very least, go check it out. See if you like anything. If not, that's fine too. All proceeds will help the channel and go to Tito here. As well as we do have Amazon links. And since I'm an Amazon associate, I do earn from qualified purchases. Just a disclaimer. But everything that you purchase is at no extra cost to you. And it does support the channel and supports Tito. So today's video, I wanted to make this video on the pros and cons of owning an African Grey. Now I've had Tito for 5 months now, going on 5 months, and these are my opinions. If I miss some, put it in the comments below. But this is just based off my experience, or our experience, I should say, me and my wife, my family, of owning an African Grey and what it's like. And that's one thing. Might be a con right there where he bites your ear. Don't bite my ear during the videos. You know that. Come here. And don't hide. They want to see you. So let's get into the video, y'all. So I'm going to start with the cons. Because amazingly, to my surprise, I came up with more cons than pros in owning an African Grey, believe it or not. But let's get into them. I got notes here, so if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes. I apologize. I came up with this list, so I want to make sure I hit everything. First thing, right from the get-go, one of the cons of owning an African Grey is the expense. They're expensive to purchase. They're expensive to acquire one. They range anywhere from $3,000 probably up to $9,000, depending on where you look. Again, I haven't seen any for under $3,000. If you find one for under $3,000, be sure to check them out really well. Make sure you know what you're getting. Along with the expenses, you got your vet bills. Vet bills, avian vets are expensive for the simple fact that they're avian vets. There's not a lot of them. In my area, I found one avian vet. He does a great job. He's expensive. I mean, I would say it's pricey. Thankfully, Tito hasn't had no major issues where he didn't incur any high vet bills. But just getting the wings and the nails done and the beak trimmed, I think that's like $100 just in itself. Not to mention the actual checkup, the overall health checkup. That's another expense. So vet bills can be high. So that's an added expense. Other expense, cost of their food. You're going to increase your budget when coming and buying groceries because, as you know, I feed Tito fresh vegetables every morning. So be it, bell peppers, squash, celery, you name it, peppers. I've done a video. There's a video on the channel. You can see how I prepare his morning breakfast. So you're going to acquire some more expense in your grocery bill. Plus, you're going to buy their seed or their feed. I don't feed Tito seed because it's fattening for him. I have him on a pellet diet. He seems to enjoy it. He's always been on pellets. Are you going to talk? You going to talk? So he eats pellets. He eats his fresh vegetables in the morning. And of course, he has access to fresh water. Let's see. Another expense, cost of toys. These African Greys will go through toys like crazy. They will go through toys very, very quickly. Tito destroy a toy in about a day, depending on the size of the toy and what it's made of. This could actually be a pro right here. Getting his head rubs, his affection. But we'll get into that. So, cost of toys, they're not cheap. And I find myself buying toys just about every payday for Tito. Trying to keep him occupied, keep him busy, keep him happy, keep him foraging. Everything he needs to prevent him from plucking his feathers, which that's another con to the African Greys. They are feather pluckers. They can pluck their feathers out. They will if they don't have enough enrichment, enough toys. They get bored. If they're sitting in their cage too long, they're going to be self-destructive. So, let's see. Destructive. Not only can they be self-destructive, but they are very destructive if not supervised. If you let them roam around your house, they're going to find something to chew. They're going to find something to break, something to destroy. Be it, light fixtures, cords, key rings, you name it. If they get a hold of it, they're going to test it. They're going to break it with their beaks. Their beaks are very powerful. So they can be very destructive. It's in their nature. That's what they do. They destroy their toys. They forage. And if you let them roam free in your house, in free flight, they're going to find stuff to destroy. That's just in their nature. Let's see some of the other cons. One thing I've noticed with Tito, and these are all cons I've realized in having Tito for the last 5 months. Early morning when Tito wakes up, he's very loud. He whistles, he talks, he lets the world know, hey, I'm awake, where's my breakfast? And he will just talk nonstop and whistle. So if you like to sleep in, getting an African Grey may not be for you, because once they wake up, they want to whistle, they want to talk, they want to let the whole world know that they're here. So, that can be a con. It can be a pro if you like it. We tend to enjoy it. Doesn't really bother us much, but I have it in the cons list because if you're thinking of getting an African Grey, you need to know these things. And the next one goes with having any bird in general. They poop a lot. And I'm not trying to be funny about that, but they will poop at the most inconvenient time. When you're holding them, it'll get on you. When they're sitting on your shoulder, they'll poop on you. Thankfully, he hasn't pooped on my back yet, but he might. Stop biting my ear. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, Rubs. So that's another con, which that just goes with having any bird, any pet for that matter, really. You got to keep up with them. The other thing is cleaning the cage, cleaning up after them. African Greys, and as you've probably seen and probably heard about, they're very dusty birds. That doesn't seem to be so much a problem in our house with Tito, because we have a dog and the dog sheds. So I'm constantly vacuuming, constantly cleaning up the floors, and mainly just sweeping up dog hair most of the time, keeping that clean, because I'm a stickler for having a clean environment, as well as having a clean environment for Tito, which is the next con. You got to maintain their cages. You got to keep them a clean environment. So for Tito, again, I have a video of it, me cleaning his cage, and what I do in cleaning his cage. Once a week, I take his cage out on my back porch, and I get my pressure washer, and I pressure wash the whole cage. And I clean everything in his cage. I clean his toys off. I clean his dishes. And then, you got to take the cage completely down, take all the toys out of it, take it out on the porch. Then you got to bring it back in. Then you got to set it all up again with the toys. It's time consuming. So I got that in the con list because it's a lot. And cleaning his cage can be an ordeal. So for how I do it. Now other people might just clean out the bottom of their cage, the parrot's cage, and that's clean to them. Me, I don't do that. I clean the whole entire cage. So along with during the week maintaining the cleanliness, changing out his floor pan and whatnot. Next one. Next con. They're temperamental. Tito, as you can see, sometimes he wants head rubs, sometimes he don't. Sometimes he just don't know what you want to do. See, like now, he doesn't know. They're temperamental. They're not always cute and cuddly and just want to play. They are temperamental. They have their times where they want to be left alone. They have their times when they want attention. They have their times when they want to bite. They have the times when they want the head rubs. Don't you? Don't you? Like now, I'm trying to rub his head. He don't really want to. Rubs, 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 rubs. See, a minute ago he wanted rubs. Now he doesn't. So they're temperamental. So you'll learn that in owning an African Grey. That just comes with the territory. The one thing I noticed is I put this in the cons because sometimes it's just aggravating. Beg. They beg a lot. Whenever I eat, he'll beg. He wants whatever it is I'm eating. I don't give him human food, obviously. If I eat crackers, he wants a piece of cracker. Obviously, this is what he's looking at right now, his pistachios. He will beg for his pistachios, huh? He must have heard me talking about begging. He started going down to get his pistachio, huh? But, I mean, that can be cute. That can be in the pros, I guess, the begging. To me, I put it as a con because, it's like a dog begging from you. You don't always like it. Sometimes it gets aggravating. So I put it in the con list. This one's a pretty big con and something you should know about if you're looking at getting an African Grey. They have a very high-pitched whistle. I guess it's called a location whistle. But it's a high-pitched whistle. It's not really like a screech. It's just very loud. And when he does it over and over, it can get very aggravating. So that's in the cons list. The other con, just the overall space in your house that you're going to take to house one of these African Greys, or a parrot for that matter. Tito has a very large cage. It takes up a substantial piece of my living room. His tree is another thing that takes up space. So you got to have the room for these items when you have these parrots. Of course, you don't have to have a tree. I highly recommend you get a Java tree if you got a bird, because they don't need to be in their cage 24/7. And yeah, a lot of cages come with the top perch. It's just usually a wooden dowel. And Tito's cage had that. I took it off. I don't like that. I don't like him sitting on top of his cage on one dowel, one perch. I like him having the tree where it's different sizes for his feet, and he can roam around and get exercise. So you got to keep in mind the space in your house, have an adequate space for him. His tree sits in front of the window so he can see outside, get fresh sunlight. His cage sits in the other side of the living room, where at night it's more secure for him with the wall behind the cage. So it gives him that feeling of safety. So again, that could be a con, space that takes up in your house. Let me see, nails. Nails are a big one. Their nails get razor sharp, almost like a needle. And if you look on my arm, you can see I got little sores. Most of them are healing up. Not necessarily from Tito. I had a Moluccan cockatoo for about a week that I took in, and that one didn't have its nails cut at all, and it just dug right in. And sometimes Tito's nails will get me. Not too bad. I keep up with his nails. But you know, if you have one of these African Greys, you're going to want to learn how to trim their nails yourself. Save you on the vet bills, and you can keep the nails, you know, trimmed down so where they're not very sharp. So that's another con. You got to keep up with the nails. The biting is definitely a con. If Tito bites you, he has the power in his beak to draw blood. And when he does bite down, he'll bite down hard. Now, thankfully, Tito is not a biter, so he doesn't bite often. He'll just grip your finger sometimes, and that's just him trying to grip your finger or feel your finger, but sometimes he bites down a little harder than he thinks. And then when he's upset and he's grumpy, he will let out a little nip at you, a bite at you, and he can't get you. Most parrots will bite. It's not if you get bit, it's when you get bit when you own an African Grey, because it will happen. But then the other, I put this as a con also, they're very loud. Even when he talks, they can be loud. I'll be watching TV and Tito will be on his tree or in his cage, and when they want their attention, they're going to let you know it, and they're going to be loud. He'll say, "Come here." He'll say, "What's up, babe? What you doing, babe?" He talks a lot, but they're loud and they whistle loud. I mean, could be a pro if you like that sort of thing. Sometimes it gets on your nerves. I've noticed in the 5 months we've had Tito. So let's get into the pros. Enough the negativity. That's quite a list on the cons. The pros, they talk. Congo African Greys will most definitely talk at some point. They mimic sounds. They're excellent at mimicking sounds. They're excellent at learning new sounds, new whistles, and they definitely pick up words through general conversation in your house. And they're always listening. They're always listening. They're always attentive, and you never know what they're going to pick up on. So you got to watch what you say around them, obviously, because you don't want a bird that's cussing a lot. But they do talk, and they definitely will talk. So if you want a parrot that is probably going to definitely talk, get a Congo African Grey. Can't go wrong. So, and that's one reason I got Tito. I wanted a parrot that would talk. I didn't want one that I had to sit there and try to convince to talk. Tito, he already talked when I got him, and he's learned so many more words just in the time frame we had him. Like I said, we've only had him for 5 months, and he's learning new words every day, and he talks terrifically. A lot of people say he sounds like me. I don't know. That's what a lot of people say. But they are excellent at mimicking sounds and talking. The other pro, entertaining. Tito is very entertaining. Even when he's in his cage playing, he's hanging upside down, he's talking, some of the phrases, when he says the phrases, it can be very entertaining, you know. And so, I mean, I listed that they're early morning talkers as a con, but in the morning it's kind of fun to sit and listen to Tito, because it seems like in the morning he goes through his whole vocabulary. So it's very entertaining to listen to them talk and interact with them. Excuse me. Another pro, they're very affectionate. As you can see in this video, Tito is like preening my hair. He's letting me rub on his head. You know, they're very affectionate. They love attention. The more time you spend with them, the more affectionate it seems like they get. What you want now? What do you want now? See? They're entertaining and they're affectionate, y'all. They're great. They're great for affection. Loyal. They're very loyal to their flock, to their family. Tito's been really well with us. He hasn't bit, like I said, too much to me or my wife. He's bonded terrifically with my wife. And I'd say they're a loyal pet. They're pretty fun to have around. But anyhow, I list that in the pros. Playful, another pro. They're very playful. You can teach them to do extensive tricks. You can teach them to do, you know, pretty difficult tricks. You can teach them. They're very intelligent. They can learn pretty much anything that you teach them. But overall, I mean, they're pretty playful. During the day, Tito will play with his toys in his cage, entertain himself. He'll sit on his tree playing with his toys, or just overall just being a joy to watch and playful. I've already mentioned this, they're very quick learners. Tito learns very quickly. He's learned that if I shake this bowl, that's his pistachios, that's his treats. He knows if I get this bowl or he sees this bowl, there's a treat in there for him. I'm giving him one now because I just shook it. I don't want to shake it and not give him one. I want to be fair to him. So they learn. They learn what gets your attention. They'll learn, you know, Tito will eyeball that bowl of pistachios sitting on the table, and he will just eyeball it. And you can tell that's what he's looking for. So they're quick learners. They learn to talk pretty much just by listening and observing. Let's see, what's this other one? I put this as a pro, but overall, being able to own and have one of these amazing creatures as a pet is awesome. African Greys are a lot of fun to have. They just the ability, the fact that we're able to have Tito, we could afford him, and we could give him the care and love that he needs and the attention. It's just overall fun. So this is just my list of the pros and cons. I know this is a lengthy video, but I just wanted to go over this. Even though my cons list is very lengthy and the pros aren't, Tito is one of the family now. He is like one of our children, so he is not going nowhere, no matter how bad the cons might seem. We love having them. You know, do we need to have them? No, we want to have them, and that's why we got him. And he's fun, he's entertaining. And like I said, he's one of the family. And he's really no different than any other pet you might own, or even having kids. You got your pros and cons with all them just as much as you do with Tito. Look, he's gonna hide behind me again. But this is just a list of pros and cons that I've come up with in the 5 months that we've owned Tito. And so if you're thinking of getting African Grey, consider these cons, the pros and cons of having the African Grey from this video. Hopefully it helps you out. More videos are coming every day. Come here, Tito. They want to see you, babe. They want to see you. Come here. But more videos are coming out every day. Like I said, we're getting close to that 500 subscriber mark. I appreciate it. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're starting out and creating a YouTube channel, 500 is one of the milestones you try to achieve, and we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So that's my goal, to get 1,000 subscribers here soon. So if you have friends, let them know about the channel, encourage them to subscribe. Come here. He's hiding. I don't know why he's all of a sudden hiding, y'all. But encourage your friends and family to subscribe. Check out Tito. We'll do all kinds of videos, you know, Tito talking, Parrot adventures, going to expos, going to, you know, like Parrot Mountain. There's video on here. You can check that out. And as well as educational and just fun facts about African Greys in general. Again, we have merchandise. I'm wearing the shirt now. Be sure to check that out. All the links will be below in the description. Check out the merchandise. As well as you can donate to help Tito out, support the channel and support Tito. There's a link for that as well. I hope this list helped you out if you're considering getting an African Grey. You know, if you have an African Grey, put in the comments what you think are some cons to have an African Grey, some pros to have an African Grey. Put it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. But again, y'all, I'm Scott. This here is Tito, and you're watching Tito the African Grey. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.